Yeah, this should be an interesting set because I just got out of a relationship about 10 minutes ago. No, I'm kidding. It was like a few months ago, but I'm still I'm kind of going through a phase now where I'm just putting ranch dressing on literally everything. Like if it falls on my clothes, I'm just like, oh, and I just eat it right up. And I'm like, my metabolism, I'm 30 now, it's not what it used to be. Like I'm this close to getting I don't gain weight well. What I mean by that is it just like localizes right here. I'm like this close to getting ET body, if you know what I mean. Like even my neck's kind of starting to, and these fingers, they can phone home, huh? Ladies, no, I'm kidding. Oof. But I've been taking a lot of trips to fast food places as a result. And I kind of developed a theory while doing this. I feel like people who work minimum wage, like anyone who gets paid minimum wage, especially like a McDonald's employee, on their name tag, it should say minimum wage under their name. Here's why. Not to like degrade them, but so like they don't have to give great customer service and we don't have to expect it. You know what I mean? Like they could just be a little more chill than the average employee. Because it's crazy, I would always watch, they'd be like, hi, welcome to McDonald's, how can I help you? They should be allowed to be like, fucking what? Or in the middle of your order, like, you know what, I'm gonna take a cigarette break, and they just put it right in your face, just throw the cigarette out at you. Like you were saying, because I'm just watching people complain to them, like, you got my order wrong. They should be able to just be like, no, I wasn't really paying attention. Let's give it another shot. Might be worse. Like, I can't believe that that a customer service, those are two words that shouldn't apply to anything in fast food. Why does McDonald's have an 800 number that you can call and complain to? Like, someone will listen to that complaint, and they'll send you, like, a gift card for your trouble. It should just be an automated system that's just like, McDonald's, what were you expecting? And then it just hands out. Save everyone all time and money. I've only called one of those 800 numbers once. It was to Yogurtland. Allow me to explain. I'm white, and for like 6 months straight, I was going there, not every day, but fairly often, and getting birthday cake frozen yogurt. It's so good. And one day they were out. I just walked in, it wasn't there, and I just went, "What's this?" No context. Just looked at an employee, said, "What's this?" And he just goes, "Oh, that's blueberry." And I was like, "Yeah, where's birthday cake?" And he's like, "Well, we ran out." And I said, "Okay, when are you going to have some back?" And he said, "It could be a couple days, could be a couple weeks, could be a couple months." 3 wrong answers. So he then said, he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Is it your birthday?" And I said, "No, but could you imagine if it fucking was?" So he gives me their corporate number. I call their corporate number. It's not like calling AT&T or Time Warner. Like, you don't have to yell at 8 people to get a supervisor. I think I got like the vice president on the first line. This guy like gave a long title. I was like, "Hi, this is John from blah, blah, blah." I was like, "Oh, wow, you're in charge." For sure. And so I told him, I was like, "Yeah, you guys are out of birthday cake. You know, the real thing you can get at Ralph's at any time." "Yeah, you were out of the chemical version of that." So he's like, "Well, I'm so sorry. Was it your birthday?" And I said, "No, but could you imagine if it was?" Sent me a $25 gift card, but due to a clerical error, they sent me 2, so I have $50 in Yogurtland money. If you know, hold your applause, if you know how that works, that's literally a lifetime supply of Yogurtland. Like, I'm set. I'm good. Jonah mentioned I'm going on work for the summer, so I was trying to buy new clothes, like stuff I didn't have to worry about, and like that I could be more comfortable in, and if it got wet, or like, and he was, a friend of mine was like, "Well, you should go to Ross, you can get like a good, like, jeans there." I couldn't find a single pair of jeans at Ross, because I'm not a 48 waist, 22 leg. It's like the only size. It's just like denim V's lining the whole area. I'm trying to picture a man with like childbearing hips and size 2 shoe. Going in there. You have to be like a man on a midget's shoulders. I'd be like, "We need a costume." Like, "We've got just the thing." By the way, Fila never went out of business. They're running very strong at Ross. And they look exactly like they did in '95. Same color scheme. That place is a consumer jungle. I don't mean like a lot of people like it is nothing is shelved. Like I don't, clothes is just piled. Like someone must come out in a wheelbarrow and just dump it in the appropriate aisle. And at the end of the day, like, "Should we clean up?" I'm like, "Have we ever?" And then they just call it a day. And just go. Okay, this is a true story. I'm not very good at pranks, but I did one that backfired in the best way possible. I'm a big Groupon user. I use it a lot, and I was with a friend, Dominic, who's gay. That's important to the story. Our server is a straight white male. That's important to the story. The server took my check across the restaurant and my phone to like punch in the Groupon code. And I turned to my friend Dominic, goes like, do you have a dick pic on your phone? He's like, yeah, of course. I was like, okay, text me that dick pic while my server has the phone. Just to see what would happen. And boy, am I glad I came up with that idea. Because it was great. I also have never seen so many dicks on a phone in my life. He's like, which one? Just dick. Big dicks, little dicks. All sorts. And we settled on the biggest one that fit on the screen diagonally. And it was on a 6+, so it was a big one. And he hit send, and let me tell you, this guy's reaction did not disappoint at all. Pretend this is a phone. Whoa! In a crowded restaurant, jam-packed. Everybody turned and looked at him, and he just threw his phone down, excuse me, my phone down, and just put his hands up. He's like as if like to be like, I'm not gay. Like he had to remind himself or something, because he was like 21, so he's at that age. And so he calls a manager over. The manager comes over with this big dumb grin on his face because he's like, no problem, I can fix that with 10% off or whatever. And they're talking. The manager sends him away, grabs my phone, grabs the check, and he even did this with the phone. He goes, okay, sure. And he comes over to our table, he puts the phone down the middle table, doesn't want to figure out whose it is. In his defense, I don't look very masculine, and he puts the check down and goes, the remainder of your bill is on us today. Thank you guys so much for coming in. And he turns and walks away, and my friend and I look at each other like, oh yeah, we're doing this every time, no question about it. What a loophole. That's like a Groupon to a Groupon. That's amazing. That's the most fun I ever had with my phone. The rest of the time on my phone I'm miserable because I'm using online dating apps and it is not going well. Do you know there's an app now called Down? I don't know if you've heard of this. It is depressing. It's a dating app where you swipe up if you want to go on a date with them and down if you just want to fuck. Needless to say, no one's matching. Because guys are like down, and girls are like, do I want to go up or down? I feel like we're just a stone's throw away from an app that's like left for handjob, up for BJ, right for sex, and down to self-destruct. Like, I don't know what else there's left at that point. There's a huge, I go on the road a lot and I see the most insane billboards. You think you see some crazy shit here, it's mostly just stuff about Vegas, but everywhere else, it's not about LA, that's for sure. I saw one that said meth plus sex equals addiction. Meth plus sex equals addiction. If you take sex out of that billboard, you still have an equally effective billboard. Like meth equals addiction, it's not peanut butter and jelly. There's not like a mom out there like, we're having an intervention, we've been supporting your meth habit for 3 years, but now you're fucking, none of this Get your shit together, get out of this house of God. That's not the dumbest one I've seen. The dumbest one I've seen was a speed limit sign that these people put up. It said, keep kids alive, drive at 25. That's still a fantastic speed to kill a child, right? They're at eye level with the car, and you get it, so. It's ridiculous. I'm finally trying to eat healthier like everybody else on the planet. It's weird. I feel like we're as unhealthy as we've been as a nation, but self-conscious about it. And I've been trying, but the things you do here, there's a phrase that's very popular in this town. People say that's so LA. Like if you eat kale, that's so LA. If you hike, that's so LA. If you do yoga, that's so... These are all things that are good for you. It should be the other way around with the rest of the country. You know what I mean? Like if a friend's like, hey, can I borrow $20? I'm like, that's so Detroit, Or if you're like ordering fast food, you're like, I'll have a number 3 extra sauce, Mr. West Virginia. I don't know why it goes the other way. I'm getting really tired of people telling me to smile with no context. Like you're not frowning, you're like, hey, you should smile. I feel like you should tell people like that you've had a death in the family. Like, fuck up their day. You know what I mean? Because I'm not like in a bad mood, but if someone tells me to smile, that's the last thing I want to do. I'm furious. So I've just decided, but you can't like say it's an immediate family member. Like this is what I did. Someone I didn't know was like, hey, you should smile. It's a beautiful day out. At a hospital, they told me this, no less. And I was like, look, my nephew died, and he was like a father to me. They literally just went, and didn't go back to looking at me. So, have fun with people. I want to do, before I go, I want to do an impression for you guys. I have this theory that in horror movies, like Michael Myers and Jason, people like that, they don't talk, but they have these like, I just have this theory that if they did, they would have like super sassy gay voices. Here's why I say that, because there's always a shot where you follow the killer from his point of view, like the camera's the killer. He'll go to grab a victim and she'll just make it out the door, just to show you the danger she was almost in. And this is a grab he does, probably why she gets away too. He goes like this. Just this sassy, you can hear the when he's doing it practically. So if he talked, it would just be like, oh my God, did you come back to the house to get something? You were cute as a button. I'm gonna come and eat you up. Oh, fuck, you gotta wait. Good for you. I'll get you later. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of the show.